a normal situation is a democratic government which involves everybody, certainly would be the choice of everybody, rather than a military dispensation where few people determines the well-being and the hope of and aspirations of the people. So looking at it side by side, looking at it from this particular argument of mine, you will not discover that it's not as if in any way there is a time I will ever, be an advocate of a military system. We are talking, okay, now look at currently what is going on in Nigeria. If the constitution is very clear concerning dual citizenship, the constitution is very clear concerning lying before an oath, this is where institution comes in. Do we really have a judicial system who is bold enough to look at the face of whosoever that has committed perjury and decide judgment in that light? That's what we talk about. That's where you see we come talk about democracy. That is what democracy is. You err. There are institutions of democracy who should be able to tell you headlong you have erred, and the full weight of the law is meted on you. But the situation where we are in a democratic system whereby people commit certain offenses, but because of who they are financially, because of their social status in the system, the institutions put together to deal with certain situations and issues are incapacitated enough to bring certain people to book. It was on that same situation I talked about off your mic, that during the forensic auditing of the NDDC, I said the current Senate president was obviously found wanting in such a manner that he even said that the Senate was part of the corruption in NDDC, which was supposed to open up a thorough investigation as a result of that forensic audit. But the democratic institutions who were responsible to ensure that such investigations were done were not able to do anything because the individual involved were bigger than the state. And these are some of the things that causes the current frustration that we see today in Africa, that now begin to see that military is coming out to say, let us take the bull by the horn. That's what we are talking about. That's the frustrations we are trying to explain. And that's what we are saying. These are some of the reasons why you begin to see that military coup d'etat is beginning to spring up in the region. Are you getting me? Following, because until there is no system of government where I want to ask. For example, when the election back home in Nigeria, we saw the trajectory, we saw where the minds of the youth were going to. We saw what the youth wanted. But at the end of the day, the will of the people was not what came out at the end of the result. And you will agree with me that currently there are serious agitations in the country, to the extent that is even weakening the current position of ECOWAS as the borders of the Niger crisis. So, my argument put in perspective is democratic system of government will be the best form of government when democratic principles and processes are followed, when institutions as they were is able to deal with situations democratically in the system. And I am sure that everybody, there is no one person who will not embrace democracy. But when democracy is being shortchanged, when democracy becomes democracy, when certain elements say it's democracy, even when it lacks credibility, then we begin to ask questions. Why then the democracy? Because the truth is, coup are of different form. Yes, there are coup where you, currently, all the coups we are seeing now, before today, the coup d'etat we used to see are blood-tasted, infested coup d'etats, where a lot of life has to be killed to be able to, get to power. But today, we are seeing bloodless coups. No one person is killed. Are you getting me? So they are even involving. So what I'm saying is, we also have political coups where people procure power. When power is based on how much you have to offer. If you do not share money, you cannot become who you want to be. We saw in Nigeria where institutions were bought, were paid for to reflect the will of certain candidates, which is the current debacle that Nigeria is today. So, putting it in perspective, if we have a legitimate democratic system of government where people vote and the will of the people is decided by the ballot box, my brother, my sisters, that is the democracy everybody yearns for. That is the democracy I am sure everybody is talking about. But anything falls short of all of this, then it is a case of the pot calling the kettle black. And at the end of the day, we are still in the same vicious circle.